Hello and welcome to the second part of this dynamic motion tutorial. Now that we've made our selection, before we move on, just in case, we're going to save our selection down. So if I go up to select, click on save selection, I'll just type in car and OK. Now if for any reason I lose the selection, all I need to do is go up to select, load selection, and from the selection source I can just pick car, click OK, and my selection is thankfully back. Now before we do the cutout, at the moment the cutout will be very harsh. We obviously want to feather those edges and just smooth a few of the edges as well so that we get a better cutout. So if I just click refine edge, I want to take smooth up to about 10, and I also just want to feather by at least 1 pixel. So you can just see a very faint feathering is going on around the edge. Now if you're working with your own pictures and that feathered edge doesn't seem quite enough, then just increase that slightly. But don't go too far, otherwise you'll get a really odd effect when you actually put in that zoom burst effect. So we're happy with that, we'll just click OK. Now we want to copy our selection, so if you just go Control C or Option C, then click on the top hue saturation layer and go Control or Option V just to paste it in to a new layer. Now if I just zoom out by going Control or Option minus, and we can now see that we've got our car overlaid onto our brightly coloured background layers. Now that we have our car cut out, we want to start adjusting the hue saturation of the car just to give it a little bit of a boost. So if we go up to our adjustment layers, down to hue saturation, and first thing we want to do is just increase the overall saturation by about 45. Now if we go to our edit menu, down to reds, and we're just going to increase the reds by +10. Reason for doing that is we just want to bring out these indicator lights just below the lamp at the front. Then edit menu again and choose blue, and we're going to increase the blue by +25, and that just gets all of this blue on the bodywork just really shining out. Now if we click OK, at the moment that hue saturation layer is actually being applied to the entire image, but we really only want it applied to our cutout of the car. So if we hold down Alt, just hold and hover between the new hue saturation layer and the image layer with the car and just left click. Suddenly that'll attach that to the image layer, and now those adjustments are only affecting the car itself. So now we've done that, we want to create a levels layer, and this is going to just help to add the real shine to the car. So go up to adjustment layers, and what we want to do is just increase the shadows just slightly to about 12. Again, just hold down Alt just to see where the shadows are clipping. Do the same on the highlights, and we're going to take that down so we can just see a shine coming through on the car, so about 230. And what I want to do is just increase the midtones just very slightly. Now if I click OK, and again I just want to attach that to the hue saturation layer, so the effects of that levels layer is only working on the car. So now that we've done that, we've sorted out our colours, it's time to actually add some motion into the picture. So if we click on to our background copy layer, and then we want to go up to filter, blur and radial blur. We want to take the amount right up to 28, and you can see the blur center preview just down here. At the moment we've got spin as our blur method. Obviously we want to have a zoom burst effect, so if we just change that to zoom, and you can suddenly see the zoom change. Now if I click onto the zoom preview, I can actually start to move the preview around. And what we want to do is just slightly off center, sort of aiming for the grill for the center of this. Now because the preview is actually square and our image is rectangular, you have to do a bit of guesswork. So I'm just going to place that there. And finally, quality, we obviously want to go for best, and then we just click OK. And that'll apply the radial zoom blur to that background copy layer. Now the thing with the radial blur is that it does take rather a time on the best quality to render. You could be looking at 1 to 2 minutes for that to be applied to the picture. So what I'll do is I'll leave you there, and in the next section we'll just finish off the picture.